I'm here. Oh, here we are at Thousand Trails, Pacific City.
Tell them about your 82nd birthday.
Oh yeah, we had a birthday. I got a train ride. Train ride out of Garibaldi, Oregon.
And what did we see up there? We saw bald eagles, right?
Oh yeah, we saw some bald eagles.
So it was Bob's birthday, and he came up from lunch. He was nice enough to come visit me while my truck was broke down in Garibaldi, and we went to have lunch, and then we decided we're going to do this train ride. And jokingly, I asked the waitress at this restaurant, would she sing to him for his birthday? She's like, no. And then we ran into the conductor of his train ride. We asked her, she said no. But they surprised us later, and the MC on the train got the entire train, like 5 cars, to sing "Happy Birthday" to Bob.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, surprise, surprise.
But basically, this train ride is a 90-minute ride. It goes 30 minutes up and 30 minutes back, and half hour in between to get you an ice cream or a coffee somewhere in the town north of there. And I never can remember the name of that town. But I discovered later that when I was driving this route, passing through a couple days ago, that the entire train ride was 4 miles. 4 miles. They made a 90-minute train ride out of it. Is that crazy?
Yeah, but it was worth it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And I'm smiling today too.
You're smiling today?
Yeah. It's a wonderful day. Oh yeah, I went to breakfast at the Fern Cafe, and a couple bought my breakfast. It was they paid for it, and I don't even know who it was.
That's the effect Bob has on people.
Yeah.
So say hi to my mom, I think.
Hey, hi Mom, how are you doing? Pete stepped out. I'm the star of the show right now. I'm the star. You gotta put up with me. Yeah, I'm the star. So here comes Pete.
Looks like we have 6 people in here. Guys, we're going to officially start at 1 o'clock. I'm new at this live thing, so if you can tell me if we're horizontal, that would be great. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Anybody out there?
I'm here.
Bob's funny. Bob's a funny guy. Well, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Key Ward. I have the Cheap RV Life channel, and this is my friend Bob Kipp. Now, Bob and me, we cross paths a lot at Thousand Trails, don't we, Bob?
Right on, yeah.
Yeah, and we've known each other for a little over a decade, and I think we've just sort of crossed paths at the same campgrounds about 6 or 7 times. The first time we met was in Palm Springs, the Palm Springs Thousand Trails. And I remember back then I was really obsessed with pickleball, and Palm Springs has a lot of pickleball. And back in the day, before COVID, they had 4 pickleball courts, and they were going all the time from 8 to 1. But I want to talk about like the Palm Springs Thousand Trails. Like, what's your initial impression when you first pulled in there the first time? What was your first impression of the Palm Springs Thousand Trails?
And I said, wow, pretty good. A lot of Palm Springs, a lot of palm trees, and they have dates there, grow dates. They're date trees.
Yeah.
And you can buy dates at the ranger station. Pretty good.
Were they selling them?
Yeah, they sell them.
Oh, okay. I never knew about that. I do remember they had an orange tree there at one time that was kind of like growing inside of a palm tree or something, and they would give you a ladder to go pick oranges. I haven't seen that the last time I was there, so I don't know if it was just out of season or what, but I remember you could just go pick oranges off the tree. What I remember about the very first time I pulled in there was just seeing the rows and rows of palm trees, like they were like 100-foot tall palm trees, and it was so idyllic because people were just kind of riding their bikes up and down the road. So much activity in the park. They have a really nice pool there, and they'll always be playing water volleyball. Like 2 times a day they play water volleyball, right?
Yeah.
Card games going on all over the place, and just a lot of activity in the park. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Out of the park, there's a lot of things to do. Go up on the tram. That's fantastic on the tram.
yeah, they have an aerial tramway that goes basically straight up the top, to the top of this hill, and I mean it's like 90-degree angle almost. It goes straight up in some places, and then at the top they have a lodge. And I remember the time I went up there, it was like Christmas season, and they had a choir up there singing Christmas carols. It's pretty neat. And I'm sure you've been to the Joshua Tree National Park. What'd you think of that?
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's different. They took a lot of Western films there, cowboy films there way back when.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, the rock formations are incredible there. Yeah, I'm not really a Western fan. Like, can you think of a famous film that was filmed there?
No,
No.
I can't think.
What else do you like about Palm Springs, the city?
There's an In-N-Out burger there.
Oh, and I knew you were going to bring it up.
I saw the big line of In-N-Out burgers. I went by a couple times, and no way I'm getting in line. And finally, it's the third time we got in line, and the line goes fast, and I go to In-N-Out burger whenever I can.
Yeah,
That's great.
So he's obsessed with In-N-Out burger. I'm not a huge fan myself because I like meat on my burger. I don't like a salad on my burger, but a lot of people seem obsessed with that place, and they wait in line a long time, don't they, Bob?
No, the line goes fast.
The line goes fast?
Yeah.
All right, if you say so. And then and there's also a lot of casinos in the Palm Springs area. And I remember I messed up my reservations at Thousand Trails one time, and I left myself a little short one day, and I didn't have a Thousand Trails to go to. So I went and parked in a casino parking lot. I think it was Fantasy Springs, and that I think was probably only the second time I did casino parking. And I've become a real big fan of parking at casinos now for my one night overnight stays. Have you ever done any casino camping at all?
Yeah, I have. A couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Can't think where they were, but there's a good casino down there in Oregon and Florence, but they're making it into a park now, so
Yeah.
I probably have to pay.
Yeah.
What it was.
Some of the ones in Oregon have gone to that. They used to let you park at the ones in Oregon for free, and now they're kind of moving into the RV park thing. So they're charging for it now. But there's still a lot of good places where you can park your RV for free overnight. There's a place where there's kind of a gap in Northern California where there's no Thousand Trails until you get to Florence, and I like to go to Elk Valley Casino. And there's a little casino there, so they have a restaurant there, and I play a little poker and blackjack. And I've become a big fan of it because of you have like just flat parking lot to park on. You don't have to level it. You just park it and go right inside if you want. Go get your lunch after a long day travel.
Yeah.
Well, you got to tell them about how you got a Thousand Trails membership. How did that happen?
Oh, I saw it advertised, go for the free sleeping bag to listen to their little speech. You get a free sleeping bag. I went up there and got my free sleeping bag. It was so good, I joined up. Yeah.
So you got the free sleeping bag, and they got you to sign up.
Yeah, I didn't even have a pickup or nothing, and
Yeah, no pickup or camper yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got him to sign up for a membership, and he had no truck or camper yet. But you ended up getting one, didn't you?
oh yeah.
You said you had some snow on the first day you took off.
Oh
right?
yeah. When I headed left west to Canby, my brother's place, Canby, went over the Highway 20. And I was always so excited to get going. It was still dark out. I got way up on Highway 20 and got in some snow, and I followed the snow plows over.
Jeez.
Nobody around except the snowplow.
The very first day you towed your camper.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, were you a little bit intimidated there?
Yeah.
That's worse. Like I drove in the snow.
Yeah.
I actually pulled out in the snow too. It doesn't sound like as deep as what you had, but the day I left, I'd been living in my RV for about 3 years in Reno, Nevada, and was just waiting for the right time to take off on my full-time journey. And then I didn't even look at the weather reports. I was in Reno, it was like April or something, and sure enough, it snowed, and there was about 1 inch of snow that postponed me for one day. And then I started watching the weather reports, and I'm like, do I tackle these hills or not? Because I had to go over some hills to get into California, And so I just kind of went for it after the snow turned a little bit slushy. I went ahead and left that day, and I made it. I made it over those hills. Reading for one day. I was going to be there for 2 or 3 days, I think, and I ended up there for 7 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I found a poker game.
Oh.
And I was crushing it. And I made a lot of money in that poker game, so I ended up staying about 7 weeks. And at the time, I didn't have any discount camping memberships. So I learned about the weekly rates, and then I learned about the monthly rate because I got a monthly rate after I got the weekly rate because I kept staying and playing poker. So it worked out really well. That was the first discount I really knew about, except Good Sam. I never used that much. Weeklies do you better than a 10% off you. But then nowadays I camp for free.
Yeah.
Not a bad deal, huh? About Pico, which is the next campground me and Bob stayed at together. I don't even think we knew we were going to cross paths there. It was shortly after we met each other in Palm Springs. You went to Pico, and then I followed you, and we saw each other at the clubhouse, I believe.
Yeah.
What do you like about Pico?
Oh, I liked I had a lot of stuff to see in those towns. Vista, what's the name of that?
Chula Vista?
Chula Vista. Oh, there's an In-N-Out burger.
Oh yeah, there's an In-N-Out burger there too. All right, very good.
Denny's. And I go there, and there's an airport you can see them parachute in, and the plane's taking off, and you're looking down on the airport. And it's pretty neat. Always went there every day, watched the airplanes and stuff, and took that's where we went out on the ocean, the whale ride.
Yeah, so me and Bob, we went whale watching.
Yeah.
And we weren't feeling too hopeful, were we, that day?
No.
Because it was so foggy. Remember how foggy it was?
Yeah.
It was crazy foggy. Like when we first left, it was sunshine in San Diego, and then before you know it, we were in a dense fog. You couldn't see anything. I mean, it was a nice little boat ride and everything, but you couldn't see anything. And we get all the way out to where we're supposed to go to spot some whales, and the captain said, "Okay, guys, we're heading back." We said we're heading back because we can't see anything. And then one of the spotters, all of a sudden there was like a little clearing, and one of the spotters said like quarter mile, 1 o'clock, and the captain headed right there. And sure enough, we're in the middle of a pod of whales.
Yeah, they were everywhere.
There's like 7 whales.
Yeah.
And they were really putting on a show for us. It was really amazing. In the past, when you went to Pico, there was a thing called the sewer social. Remember the sewer social?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure do.
Yeah. So the sewer social. So back in the day, before they had assigned sites, they would assign you to the park across the street. It's just kind of a dirty, dusty, spots. There is like a nice little nature trail through the woods there, but there's not much over there. Let's put it that way. So you start off over there, and you get water and electric, and then the full hookups are on the nice side of the park, where the store is, where the clubhouse. There's 2 swimming pools over there. But you have to wait. Basically, your name goes on a list, and then you moved up the list every day until it was your turn to pick a site. So you would go riding around, the nice part of the park to find a site that you wanted to get. Then when your name came up at the sewer social, you would get that spot. And what the sewer social is you just come to the ranger station at 9 o'clock in the morning, I think. They had coffee and cookies set up there, and you hope that your name would come up on the list and you'd go pick a site. It was called the sewer social.
Right on.
And a lot of people, there were a lot of mixed reviews about that. Some people didn't really care for that too much, but I really kind of liked it.
Yeah, it's different.
I mean, even though
One of a kind.
Yeah, even though it was inconvenient to move, at least you really got to take your time to pick the site that you wanted, But back in the good old days, you saw a badger in that riverbed there.
Oh yeah, did I ever?
Yeah.
Big badger was
Yeah.
walking one morning, and he's up high on the bank I was, and I could look down. He's trying to hide under some rocks, but the rear end is still sticking out. I can see him.
That badger was hiding from you, huh?
Yeah.
I had a wildlife encounter myself one time. Started to walk one of the trails just that went outside the park. So a coyote was just 20 feet away. He walked right in front of me and just stopped. And we sort of sized each other up for a little while. And then I made myself big and just kind of went like that and scared him off. But before you know it, there was like 3 foot high grass on either side of me. You could hear several coyotes kind of surrounding me. Like I could tell there was one up here, one behind me over here, one up there. And I could tell I was being like surrounded because I could hear them rustling through this grass.
Man.
I might be a little paranoid, but I decided to go back to camp,
Yeah.
Got back there pretty quick. But I've seen those coyotes running through that park in broad daylight,
Yeah,
So-
that shows they're hungry.
Yeah, so you would go to Wilderness Lakes, Pico, and
Palm Springs.
Yeah. And a lot of people had a circuit like that. I ran into a lot of couples at Palm Springs, especially that I played cards with, and they kind of ran in the same circles, and they would go to these parks at the same time. It was kind of cool that they had that kind of friendship.
Yeah.
You like Las Vegas 1,000 Trails?
I've had some experiences there. Yeah.
Las Vegas 1,000 Trails, guys. This is actually where I got my 1,000 Trails membership. Probably not the crown jewel, and unfortunately, it just has to do with kind of the area that it's in. It's just kind of in a funky area there. So if you ever do go to Las Vegas 1,000 Trails family, just be aware and know that the barbed wire is around that wall for a reason. Now, if you walk out on the Boulder Highway, I don't think you're going to get mugged or anything, but you don't want to take the children out there. Do I feel safe? I think it's reasonably safe, but it's not somewhere you want to,
Especially during the day is fine.
Yeah. But at night, don't go walking around on Boulder Highway. Just drive. That's what you do now, right? When you go to Vegas, you just drive to Boulder Station.
Yeah, that's a good place to eat, Boulder Station.
Boulder Station, even though it's in kind of a bad area, they have some good places to eat in there. The atmosphere is really nice. It's kind of the railroad theme in there, and they have a huge sports book. It's really pretty casino, honestly. And then the other direction is Sam's Town. You ever go to Sam's Town Casino?
Yeah, I've been there, but I like Boulder Station better.
You like, really?
Yeah, I only because it's closer.
Yeah, Sam's Town is a little bit further away, maybe a mile away.
Yeah.
And but that's a good place to take the kids. Sam's Town is really really nice to have that indoor waterfall and everything. This little forest, that indoor forest that you walk through.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Oh yeah, you got to see that. Quite a few less scheduled activities than there used to be. And I think a lot of people just go to Vegas because they want to see Vegas. They want to go to the Strip or whatever. It's more of an adult park.
Yeah.
There's not as many kids at the Las Vegas 1,000 Trails. But they also have a nice swimming pool for sure, and they've updated it. They have they've done some nice things with the pool recently. So it is looking a lot nicer.
They got a good place to watch TV and play. You can play games or play cards in there.
They kind of twisted my arm to look at a presentation to see if I wanted to get a Thousand Trails membership, and I had in my head like, no way, not a chance. But they got me. They got me, Bob. I got the camping pass. So camping pass is a great way to introduce yourself to Thousand Trails and see if you like it before you get one of the premium ones. And with the camping pass, it is a little bit limited. You stay 2 weeks, and then 1 week out of the system.
I think camping pass is the best way to start out, see if you like it or not. Yeah, Whalers Rest, Newport, Oregon.
Yeah, Whalers Rest in Newport, Oregon. And we were talking about this yesterday, I think. We don't remember much about hanging out there, except that we went to a bar to watch football one time.
Yeah.
And we hung out in the clubhouse a little bit.
I like the waterfront at Newport. You can see the walk along the waterfront where they fish and see some seals and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a trail that goes right down to the beach from Whalers Rest. It's a very easy trail to just scoot down to the beach really easy. You pull into the park and there's a clubhouse there with an indoor swimming pool, which is nice. And it's kind of a small park. You have a two-part park. It's kind of split up by a street that goes down the middle of it. And then on the other side of the street, you have the clubhouse and the putt-putt golf course. Tell us about the putt-putt golf course. You saw Whalers Rest.
Oh yeah, they made the golf course. They put the holes in there. This guy was redoing it, and the holes are too much smaller.
So
green.
Does it just seem like they're smaller, Bob?
Oh, I know they're smaller. You check it out. Yeah.
Okay.
I've played it quite a few times.
Yeah.
You can hardly get the ball in the hole.
Yeah. That's funny. And you were kind of watching the guy redesigning.
Yeah.
You knew he was making these holes too small,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I didn't realize it at the time, because then I played it and I found out right away.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow. Interesting. I'll have to look at that next time I go there. See if I can get it in the hole there. I don't know. I used to be pretty good at playing golf. We bowled together one time. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
So
What kind of bowling was that called?
miniature bowling.
Yeah, something.
So we were in Las Vegas. Going back to Las Vegas, guys. There's a hotel called Silverton Casino, and you go in there and you look for this bar area, and there's an Airstream there. There's an Airstream in this casino, and this Airstream has two lanes of miniature bowling there. And me and Bob played a little bit, and before we played, Bob had told me that one time he bowled 15 games in a row or something like that, some crazy amount of games, where you just bowled 15 games in a row. And I'm like, that sounds impossible. But when I saw Bob play, I understood why. He bowls really, really fast.
I've bowled 50 games before in one day.
50?
50.
5-0?
Yeah, 5-0.
Okay, that should give you an idea of how fast Bob bowls. Yeah, he's all about speed.
Get my money's worth.
But Seaside, Oregon. Seaside's on the northern end of the coast, and it's north of Pacific City, up near Astoria. And I tell you, I used to stay at Seaside now and then during the winter months, and the difference between going there in the winter and the summer is like the difference between night and day. It's just in the summer months, I think it's just so active and fun there. You see people pitching tents and having cookouts. The town itself is so active, you know, it's just really a fun, festive atmosphere in the summer. It's becoming one of my favorite 1,000 trails in the entire system. You know? It's way up there. What do you think about Seaside?
Yeah, it's good. I like going to Hammond, Oregon, and see the elk grazing in somebody's backyard. Seen those about three different years. Seen a bunch of elk and grazing in there. I said I almost stopped. They all looked up. The young ones looked up at the big ones. Just down and kept on eating.
Yeah, elk. Wow. Yeah, and that's sort of like on a jetty, isn't it? It goes out into the ocean or something. That town, Hammond.
Yeah.
I haven't really been there yet. That's near State Park, right?
It's near, Stevens State Park.
Yeah, Fort Stevens.
Yeah.
Fort Stevens State Park. So a lot of elk up there.
And there's a lot of elk down here. I saw some the other day where we're at here in Pacific City. On the way in, I saw about 15, 20 or 18 or 20 or 18 right along the road out there. And I saw some this morning. They're way out there in the field, grazing.
Wow.
They're elk too.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen them in more so in Northern California, but I know there's quite a few up here in Oregon too.
Yeah.
So if you're up in Seaside, when you're up in Seaside, you have to go to Astoria. Astoria is a wonderful town, and they have the Maritime Museum up there. I highly recommend the Maritime Museum. It's one of the top 5 museums I've ever been to. It's really.
Then you can take the trolley there up to the museum. There's a trolley.
Yeah, I saw the trolley, but I didn't know where it really began. Columbia River history, where it meets the Pacific Ocean, is just fascinating. It's really one of the most dangerous rivers in the world as far as ships go coming into port.
Yeah, going over the bar, Columbia Bar.
Yeah, but yeah, really, really good stuff. Astoria, that area, Seaside. And all the little towns around Seaside, north and south. You really get to be one of my favorite places in the country, that whole Seaside area. Bob left the Seaside campground a few days before I did and came down here to Pacific City, which is probably the prettiest campground in the 1,000 Trail system, in my opinion. It's really, really, really beautiful here. So I was still in Seaside for a few days, and then me and Bob met up because my truck broke down north of here in Garibaldi.
Yeah, on the train ride. It was my birthday too.
Yeah, so Bob was nice enough to come to help just make sure I was okay a couple times when I was up there in Garibaldi, because I was kind of stranded in a strange town. I had no clothes, and so I had to pay for an expensive hotel, and I got a mobile mechanic to get my truck fixed the next day. So it all worked out. And that day it happened to be Bob's birthday, and we went out to eat on a train ride, and all worked out pretty good.
Yeah, it worked out fantastic.
Yeah. So we had a good time, and then I followed Bob down here to Pacific City, Oregon, which is, like I said, I think it's the prettiest 1,000 trails.
And I like here the dory boats come in, slide up on the beach. You do a lot of fishing. You can go just down the road a little bit and see them come sliding in.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what dories are, they're these special fishing boats that you use out here. And I don't know how you really describe a dory boat. Do you know how to describe one?
They're a flat bottom boat.
They're flat bottom?
Yeah, they're flat bottom. You can slide in, cut the motor off and slide in on the beach, and then.
So the flat bottom, so they can
slide
up on the beach. And they come in really fast, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you'll see around town at the restaurants, if they're advertising fish and chips, they'll make sure you know that it's dory caught fish and chips, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We had some the other day.
We had some yesterday. We went to
Yeah.
the Sportsman's Bar, and they had fish and chips there. I think they have great fish and chips, don't
Yeah.
you?
I thought it was good.
So, good
Ling
stuff.
Kai.
What kind of cod?
Ling Kai.
Okay. Pacific City itself is a wonderful little town. You have kind of two different parts of the town. You have the if you go right down the road from the campground, you end up at Cape Kiwanda, and there's a fantastic rock. And then right there at Cape Kiwanda, you have the Pelican Brewery, and then we went to a really nice restaurant last night called Meridian. And across the street, they have a coffee shop looking right out at that rock, and then Kiwanda Hotel, where we tried to do our show yesterday. And then on the other side, you cross over the bridge. You have sort of the riverside, and that's where you have little bakeries and restaurants and the only grocery store in town. So it's really kind of my favorite town in the entire U.S. We're recording up here using the Wi-Fi at the clubhouse at the lodge, but there's no cell phone signal throughout the park. That is one of the top complaints, and it's hard to navigate. What are you going to say?
Oh, just like Cape Kiwanda. You can walk over Cape Kiwanda. I used to do that, and then walk back on the road.
It's a little bit of a hike.
Right.
It's not terrible. I did it a few weeks ago. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's a little bit longer walk. It's definitely exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do that, and I don't do that anymore.
If you can get past the cell phone signal thing, I see a lot of people using Starlink now. If you're using that Starlink, it seems like people are getting good reception here. The park is just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, when you first pull in, you're in the A section. And what kind of trees would you call those where you're at in the A section?
Fir trees.
Big fir trees. Really, really, really tall trees.
Yeah.
And it's just spectacular when you pull in and you're navigating through the first part of the park, and then there's several sections. I mean, like I'm in the D section, and it goes all the way up to like K or something like that. It does rain quite a bit. You get like a misty rain off the ocean.
Oregon mist. Yeah.
Oregon mist. But I love it. I just love this. I love this park. It's one of my favorites for sure. Just do a live show. How do you feel? You feel more confident on camera now?
I'm still shaking.
You're still shaking. Bob's always shaking. Bob always shakes. Don't let him fool you.